All right, so this deep dive, we're getting into the nitty-gritty of SEO.
Yeah.
And this time, it's all about crafting meta descriptions, the ones that really stand out in those search engine results pages.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're focusing specifically on Chapter 3 of the SEO Success Blueprint,
Okay.
which is all about meta descriptions.
Yes.
I mean, who doesn't want more clicks, right?
Nobody wants fewer clicks, that's for sure.
So, it's interesting to me how much impact just those like little snippets of text can have.
It's true.
It really can be the difference between someone clicking through to your content or going with the competition,
For sure. And I think
I've been guilty of that in the past.
Oh yeah.
I just kind of toss in some keywords and hope for the best.
It's a common oversight.
But reading through this source, it's making me realize just how much potential I've been missing out on.
Totally. And it's like, if your content is amazing,
Yeah.
but the meta description is lackluster, people might never even discover it.
Yeah.
It's like having a hidden treasure chest.
Okay.
You need a good map to lead people to it.
I like that analogy.
Yeah.
So where do we even begin with this treasure map?
Okay, so Chapter 3 talks about this framework, connect, captivate, convert.
Okay.
I think that's a really good way to think about it.
So what's the connect part all about when it comes to meta descriptions?
Connect is about understanding your target audience. Who are they?
Right.
What are their pain points? What are they searching for? And then once you have that clear picture of your ideal reader or customer, you can tailor your meta description to speak directly to them.
So it's not just about listing generic keywords. It's really thinking about the specific language that my target audience uses.
Yeah, put yourself in their shoes. What would they type into a search engine
Yeah.
to find a solution to their problem?
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So for example,
Yeah.
if I'm targeting busy entrepreneurs who struggle with time management, I wouldn't just use keywords like time management tips.
I would use phrases like reclaim your time or boost productivity or streamline your workflow.
Exactly.
Things like that.
Yeah, because those phrases are more likely to resonate with them because it addresses their specific pain points and desires.
Right?
It's about using language that connects with their emotions
Yeah.
and motivates them to click.
Okay.
So you're speaking their language.
Connect, check. What about captivate?
Okay, captivate.
How do we make our meta descriptions like truly irresistible?
So this is where you get to be a little creative.
Okay.
Think of your meta description as a mini ad for your content. You want to highlight the unique benefits
Okay.
of your article, your video, your product.
Right.
What makes it different? Why should they click on your link instead of all the other ones on the page?
So instead of just saying this article will teach you about time management, I could say something like, discover the secrets to reclaiming 2 hours each day with these proven time management strategies for busy entrepreneurs.
Now you're talking.
Okay.
That's much more compelling. All right.
It highlights the benefit you're using strong verbs.
Yeah.
You're even including a quantifiable result.
Right.
Like reclaiming 2 hours, that's something they can really latch onto.
Okay. I'm starting to see how powerful these little snippets of text can be.
It's like a mini sales pitch.
Exactly. And just like with the sales pitch, you want to create that sense of urgency and excitement.
Yeah.
You want people to feel like they're missing out if
Right.
they don't click.
Okay, I'm definitely feeling more inspired to step up my meta description game.
Yes.
But before we get too carried away with Captivate, let's not forget about convert.
Okay, convert.
How do meta descriptions tie into actual conversions?
Well, a meta description doesn't directly lead to a sale or sign up,
Right.
but it plays a crucial role in the process. A compelling meta description leads to more clicks, which brings more people to your content.
Yeah. And the more people that engage with your content,
Yes.
the higher the chance of them eventually converting into customers or subscribers or whatever your desired outcome may be.
It's a chain reaction.
Right.
The meta description sets the stage
Yeah.
for a successful conversion.
All right, so we got connect, captivate, convert.
Yes.
What are some other key elements of a killer meta description?
Well, Chapter 3 also stresses the importance of including relevant keywords.
Okay.
These are the terms people are using to search for information on your topic.
So we're not just randomly stuffing keywords in there. We need to be strategic about it.
Absolutely. You want to use keywords that are both relevant to your content
Yeah.
and have a decent search volume.
Okay.
And there are tools out there that can help you research your keywords
Right.
and analyze their competitiveness.
So we want to use keywords that people are actually searching for.
Yes.
Not just obscure terms that no one's using.
Exactly. And you don't want to overdo it.
Yeah.
Keyword stuffing can make your meta description sound unnatural.
Right.
And actually hurt your ranking.
So it's all about finding that sweet spot between using keywords effectively and writing a description that's compelling and readable for humans.
You got it.
Okay.
It's a bit of an art.
Yeah.
But with practice, you'll get the hang of it.
You mentioned tools for keyword research.
Yes.
Are there any free tools out there that our listeners can use?
Absolutely. Google itself offers a fantastic free tool called Google Keyword Planner.
Okay.
It's part of the Google Ads platform, but you don't have to run ads to use it.
Right.
It allows you to research keywords, see their search volume, and even get ideas for new keywords you might not have thought of.
That sounds incredibly helpful. I'm definitely going to check that out.
Yeah.
So let's recap. We need to connect with our target audience, captivate them with compelling benefits.
Yes.
And ultimately drive conversions. And we need to sprinkle in those relevant keywords strategically.
That's right.
Is there anything else we should keep in mind when crafting these magical meta descriptions?
Well, Chapter 3 emphasizes the importance of being concise, remember?
Okay.
You're working with limited space, around 150, 160 characters.
So every word counts. It's like writing a tweet, but for your entire web page.
Exactly. You need to get your message across quickly and effectively.
Yeah.
Think of it as a teaser.
Okay.
Makes people want to learn more.
Okay. Concise and compelling. What about calls to action?
Okay. Yeah.
Should we be incorporating those into our meta descriptions?
That's a great question. And while you don't have a ton of space, a subtle call to action can definitely be effective.
Okay.
Instead of just describing your content, encourage people to take action.
So instead of saying, learn about time management, I could say something like, discover the secrets to reclaiming your time. Read more now.
Perfect.
Something like that.
That's a clear, concise call to action. Encourages people to click.
I'm starting to see how all these pieces kind of fit together.
Yeah.
But I have to admit, writing compelling meta descriptions that tick all the boxes can feel a bit daunting.
Right.
Do you have any tips for making the process a little bit easier?
So one tip from Chapter 3 that really resonated with me is to treat your meta description as a mini story.
A mini story.
Yeah, think about the beginning, middle, and end.
How does that work in practice?
Okay, so the beginning is your hook.
Okay.
It's where you grab the reader's attention with a compelling phrase or question.
So something like, tired of feeling overwhelmed.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then the middle is where you elaborate on the problem or the benefit.
Okay.
Using relevant keywords. And then the end is your call to action.
Okay.
Encouraging people to learn more.
Like a tiny narrative.
Yes.
That packs a punch.
Exactly.
That's a really helpful framework to keep in mind.
Yeah.
But sometimes even when I have a great idea, I get stuck on the wording.
I hear that.
Any tips for overcoming writer's block when it comes to meta descriptions?
Chapter 3 suggests using templates.
Okay.
There are tons of free meta description templates available online.
Templates? That's a fantastic idea.
Yeah.
It's like having a pre-built structure that I can then customize.
Exactly.
With my own content.
Yeah, it takes away the pressure of starting from scratch and allows you to focus on the creative part.
This deep dive is already proving to be incredibly valuable.
Good.
I'm starting to see meta descriptions in a whole new light.
That's great.
But what about those of us who are more visual learners?
Yeah.
Are there any tools out there that can help us visualize what our meta descriptions will actually look like in search results?
There are several free tools available online that simulate Google search results.
Okay.
You can type in your meta description and see how it appears alongside your page title and URL.
That sounds incredibly helpful.
Yeah, it helps you visualize the overall presentation and make any necessary tweaks.
It's like having a sneak peek.
Exactly.
Before we hit publish.
Yes.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here.
Yeah.
We talked about the Connect, Captivate, Convert framework, the importance of keywords, conciseness calls to action, mini stories, templates, and even preview tools.
Right.
It's amazing how much goes into crafting these seemingly simple snippets of text.
It's true. It's easy to underestimate their power, but a well-crafted meta description can truly make a world of difference.
I'm already feeling much more confident about writing meta descriptions that actually get clicks.
That's great.
But what about the other half of the equation?
Yeah.
Keywords.
Yeah.
How do we choose the right keywords to target, and how do we use them effectively in our meta descriptions?
That's a great question, and it's one that deserves its own deep dive.
That's what we're here for.
Yeah.
So let's move on to the fascinating world of keywords.
Let's do it.
All right.
Sounds good.
I'm excited to dig into this.
Me too.
This is going to be good.
Yeah.
Let's go.
All right. Keywords are the foundation of SEO. They're the words and phrases people use when searching for information online. When it comes to meta descriptions, using the right keywords can significantly increase the chances of your page showing up in relevant searches.
That makes sense. But with millions of keywords out there, how do we even begin to choose the right ones for our content?
Chapter 3 suggests starting by thinking about your target audience again. What are their interests, needs, and pain points? What words are they likely to use when searching for solutions?
So if I'm writing an article about healthy meal planning for busy families, I might brainstorm keywords like quick dinner recipes, kid-friendly meals, healthy meal prep, and family meal planning.
That's a great start. You've already identified some relevant keywords that your target audience might be using. The next step is to use keyword research tools to validate your ideas and see how competitive those keywords are.
You mentioned Google Keyword Planner earlier. Can we use that to analyze these keywords?
Absolutely. Google Keyword Planner is a fantastic free tool for keyword research. You can enter your brainstormed keywords and see their average monthly search volume, which tells you how many people are searching for those terms each month.
So a keyword with a higher search volume means more people are interested in that topic.
Exactly. But it also means there's likely more competition for that keyword, meaning more websites and content are vying for those top spots in search results.
That makes sense. So how do we find that sweet spot keywords that have decent search volume but aren't overly competitive?
That's where keyword difficulty comes in. Many keyword research tools, including Google Keyword Planner, provide a difficulty score for each keyword. This score indicates how challenging it would be to rank for that keyword.
So a lower difficulty score means it's easier to rank for that keyword.
Exactly. Ideally, you want to target keywords that have a decent search volume, but a relatively low difficulty score. This means there's a good chance you can rank for those keywords and drive traffic to your content.
Okay, so we've identified some relevant keywords using brainstorming and tools like Google Keyword Planner. How do we actually incorporate these keywords into our meta descriptions effectively?
Well, remember we talked about treating meta descriptions like mini stories. You can naturally weave your chosen keywords into this narrative. Aim to include your primary keyword, the one that best summarizes your content in the first sentence of your meta description.
So for our healthy meal planning article, if our primary keyword is family meal planning, we could start our meta description with something like simplify family meal planning with these.
Perfect. You've naturally incorporated your primary keyword, and you've also piqued the reader's interest with the word simplify, which speaks directly to their desire for easy solutions.
And then we can weave in some of our secondary keywords, quick dinner recipes, kid-friendly meals, and healthy meal prep throughout the rest of the meta description.
Exactly. And remember to use those keywords in a way that sounds natural and engaging to the reader. You're writing for humans, not just search engines.
This is making so much sense. But I've heard some people say that meta descriptions don't actually affect your ranking. Is that true?
Well, it's true that meta descriptions aren't a direct ranking factor in Google's algorithm. They can indirectly influence your ranking by improving your click-through rate.
Click-through rate. Can you explain what that means?
Sure. Click-through rate, CTR, is the percentage of people who see your search result and click on it. A higher CTR tells Google that your content is relevant and engaging, which can boost your ranking over time.
So even though Google isn't looking at my meta description for keywords, a compelling meta description that uses those keywords can attract more clicks, which in turn can improve my ranking.
Precisely. It's a win-win situation. You're attracting more visitors to your content and potentially boosting your search ranking at the same time.
That's awesome. I'm starting to see how everything we've discussed today connects. But I have to admit, I'm still a bit intimidated by the whole keyword research process. It feels like there's so much to learn.
Don't worry. Chapter 3 emphasizes that keyword research is an ongoing process. You'll get better at it over time as you learn more about your target audience and the keywords they're using.
That's reassuring. So we don't need to be keyword experts overnight.
Absolutely not. Just start with the basics we've covered today: brainstorming, using keyword research tools, and understanding search volume and difficulty. As you gain more experience, you can explore more advanced keyword research techniques.
Okay, I can handle that. So let's recap. We've talked about the importance of keywords, how to brainstorm them, how to use tools like Google Keyword Planner to analyze them, and how to incorporate them naturally into our meta descriptions. What else should we know about keywords and their role in SEO?
Well, Chapter 3 also highlights the importance of understanding different types of keywords. We've mostly been focusing on short-tail keywords, which are 1 or 2 words long, like meal planning or time management.
Those are the ones that come to mind most easily when we're thinking about search terms.
Right, but there are also long-tail keywords, which are longer phrases that are more specific, like healthy meal planning for busy families or time management tips for entrepreneurs.
Those sound a lot more targeted.
Exactly. Long-tail keywords often have lower search volume than short-tail keywords, but they're also less competitive and more likely to attract highly qualified leads.
Highly qualified leads. Can you explain what that means?
Sure, a qualified lead is someone who's more likely to convert into a customer or client. Someone searching for time management might just be looking for general information, but someone searching for time management tips for entrepreneurs is clearly an entrepreneur who's actively seeking solutions.
That makes sense. So long-tail keywords are like laser-focused beams that attract people who are already interested in what we have to offer.
Exactly. And while it might seem counterintuitive to target keywords with lower search volume, long-tail keywords can actually be incredibly effective for driving conversions.
So should we be using long-tail keywords in our meta descriptions?
Absolutely. While you might not be able to fit an entire long-tail keyword into your meta description, you can certainly use parts of it or variations of it.
So for our healthy meal planning article, instead of just using the short-tail keyword meal planning, we can incorporate phrases like busy family meals or quick healthy dinners.
Perfect. You're using language that's more targeted and specific to your audience, which can increase the chances of them clicking through to your content.
Wow, this deep dive into keywords has been incredibly insightful. It's amazing how much thought and strategy goes into choosing the right keywords and using them effectively.
It's an essential part of SEO, and it's a skill that will serve you well in all your online endeavors.
I'm definitely feeling more confident about my keyword game now, but I have a question about something you mentioned earlier, keyword difficulty. How do we actually determine the difficulty of a keyword?
That's a great question. There are a few factors that contribute to keyword difficulty. One is the competition, as we discussed earlier. If there are a lot of websites already ranking for that keyword, it's going to be more challenging to break through.
That makes sense. So the more popular a keyword is, the harder it's going to be to rank for it.
Exactly. Another factor is the authority of those competing websites. If the top-ranking websites for that keyword are well-established, authoritative sites with a lot of backlinks, it's going to be tougher to outrank them.
Backlinks. Can you explain what those are?
Sure, backlinks are links from other websites to your website. They're a signal to Google that your website is trustworthy and valuable.
So the more backlinks I have, the higher my authority in Google's eyes.
Exactly. And the higher your authority, the easier it will be to rank for competitive keywords.
That's a lot to think about. So keyword difficulty is influenced by the number of competitors, their authority, and their backlinks. Is there any way to get a rough estimate of keyword difficulty without using specialized tools?
Well, Chapter 3 has a really helpful tip for that. Simply do a Google search for your chosen keyword and look at the top-ranking results. If those results are from big, well-known brands or websites with a ton of content, it's a pretty good indicator that that keyword is highly competitive.
So if I search for healthy recipes and the top results are from websites like the Food Network or All Recipes, I can assume that keyword is going to be pretty tough to rank for.
Exactly. But if the top results are from smaller blogs or websites, it might be a more attainable keyword to target.
That's a really handy tip. I can definitely see myself using that when I'm brainstorming keywords. So to sum it all up, we need to choose keywords that are relevant to our content and target audience, have decent search volume, and aren't overly competitive. We need to use these keywords strategically in our meta descriptions, incorporating them naturally into our mini stories. And we need to be mindful of different types of keywords, including both short-tail and long-tail keywords.
That's a fantastic summary. You've really grasped the key concepts of keyword research and how it relates to crafting compelling meta descriptions.
That makes sense. So it's not just about what we say, it's how we say it.
Right.
We want our meta descriptions to sound like they're coming from our brand.
Exactly. Consistency is key.
Are there any other ways that we can use meta descriptions to reinforce our branding?
Another approach is to incorporate your brand's keywords or taglines into your meta descriptions whenever appropriate.
So if my brand is all about simplifying productivity, I could use that phrase in my meta descriptions for content related to time management organization or workflow optimization.
Exactly. It's a subtle way to reinforce your brand messaging.
Yeah.
And make your content more recognizable in the search results.
It's like a little branding jingle that plays in people's minds when they see our content.
I love that.
Okay, so this deep dive has been incredibly valuable. I'm feeling much more confident about my ability to write meta descriptions that are not only optimized for search engines, but also engaging and memorable for readers. But before we wrap up this section on meta descriptions, I have one final question that's been bugging me. What about those websites that have dynamic meta descriptions? The ones that change depending on the search query.
Yeah.
How do we optimize for those?
That's a great question. Dynamic meta descriptions can be a bit trickier to optimize.
Right.
Because you don't have full control over the content that's displayed.
So how do we approach those situations? Do we just throw our hands up in defeat?
Not at all. While you might not be able to craft a specific meta description for every possible search query, you can still optimize the underlying elements that influence those dynamic descriptions.
What do you mean by underlying elements?
Well, many dynamic meta descriptions pull content from your page title headings and even the first few sentences of your content.
So it's even more important to make sure that those elements are optimized for our target keywords.
Yes.
And convey our key message very clearly.
Exactly. By focusing on optimizing those foundational elements, you can increase the chances that your dynamic meta descriptions will be relevant and compelling, even if you don't have direct control over the exact wording.
That's a really strategic approach. I'm starting to see how meta description optimization is like a puzzle where all the pieces need to fit together to create a cohesive and effective whole.
Yeah, it's a multifaceted process, but it's one that's well worth the effort.
I couldn't agree more. This deep dive has been incredibly insightful, and I feel like I've learned so much about the art and science of crafting meta descriptions that truly stand out. I'm ready to put all these amazing tips and strategies into action.
That's awesome. I'm confident you'll see amazing results. Remember, meta descriptions are a powerful tool for attracting clicks, driving traffic, and ultimately achieving your online goals.
Absolutely. And to our listeners, thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the world of meta descriptions. We hope you've gained valuable insights and inspiration that will help you elevate your SEO game.
Keep learning, keep experimenting, and keep crafting those captivating meta descriptions.
Until next time, happy optimizing.